welcome to another episode of Top to Flop. And it's the first episode I've done of the year, or at this tail end of 2023, where I'm filming with the blind shut, the light on. I like to film in natural light, but I fancy just getting this video out there. And it's Dooku, because this is one that we're going to be getting in TVC. If you're watching in the future, ladies and gentlemen, they have announced finally Count Dooku in the TVC. And I've been asking for Dooku since forever. I don't have all Dookus, but I've got a fair few. I know that whatever they make in TVC will hopefully be, well, infinitely definitive. But this is the order of the Dookus that I own, and there's a few others I never acquired. So should we do this? As you can see, as ever, it's top to flop, so I start with the best. And it's really difficult to differentiate the first two. On any other day, I could select this one as my favourite, but I'm going to go with this one as my favourite Dooku in 3 3/4 inch. And this is the Dooku that came with the Blu-ray commemorative pack. And the reason I chose this Dooku over the one behind him, although I love that Dooku there, is because I like this Dooku because I like my Dookus with a neutral face. Because don't forget, he's a political idealist, not a murderer. Before you fully understand who Dooku is in Attack of the Clones, you see him potentially as a rogue Jedi, yes, but is he all bad? What's he doing anyway? And then, well, when you watch Tales of the Jedi, wow, that's a fascinating watch. And I'm panning straight away to this custom Dooku that was made for me. I'll come back to that later, but Dooku is a fascinating character. Someone I never used to really like. I did not like him at all in Attack of the Clones. He annoyed me because he was all over Kenobi. Kenobi did away with Darth Maul. Why was this old man winning? Didn't like that. But actually, he's a mastermind. He has a superior mental capacity. Powerful, no doubt, too. And that is why he was besting Kenobi. But still, I like him with just a passive face, of which this this Dooku has that. So I'm hoping the new TVC Dooku will be a neutral face. So that's why this guy, I've put him in second place. He looks amazing on my shelf battling Anakin. In fact, he's right there. Anakin's just stood on his own now, but I used that Anakin to face this Dooku because they just look good together. And see, I've got Dooku in that pose there like he's in mid-swing or spinning or something, but this Anakin, by the way, is a shocking figure. His face is not that good, but from behind it looks great. You can see his ponytail, his Padawan braid there. So let me get Dooku back over here. But this is a wonderful figure. Yes, he's got like more of an aggressive face, and he's got that sort of, yeah, you can see Christopher Lee in that. Many people might argue you can't see him in that. But the thing is about this figure, I've made it number one because it's something about the finish of him. Not only is he not looking necessarily snarly and angry, but it's the coloration of his hair. If you go on the back here, you can see, actually, as I say, it's a shame I'm not filming in daylight, but in Attack of the Clones, he has kind of a chock of white hair and like a streak of grey. It's almost like it's blended his hair in tones. It's different, and that figure kind of shows that. This figure is the same. It's got the same body, the same soft fringe skirt there. So the same soft cape, they've just got different head sculpts. And that's that. This came in the Sith Evolutions, Blu-ray commemorative. And then number 3, I couldn't put this any lower than third place. This Dooku here has really served me well. It is one of the first really kind of super articulated figures from at least the 2005 line. It was, I don't know much about that line on a technical level other than there were some really good figures in it. But this one had lots of ball joints, loads of swivels, and I loved soft goods as opposed to the hard goods, some of the ones that were. But when I started get back into it, collecting as an adult, I wanted a Dooku with a nice soft goods, and this is your figure. And I've got several of this figure here, some without cape, some with. Some I have kneeling and before Anakin there, before he slices his head off. Look at that one. So that's the thing, quite affordable, good articulation, except it's not the best. He hasn't got a very wide stance, but still. Soft goods, likeness, not bad at all. And that is it. For a human live actor depiction of Dooku, you're on a winner with this one. And then we're going to move back here to, where are we? Let's pull back. What have we got, ladies and gentlemen? Now, this is a new addition to my collection. I've actually put him, because he's on a vehicle, I want to show you him on the vehicle. He is supposed to be before this guy here, which I'm amazed actually I've put him in this order, because I don't really rave about that figure, but there's reasons why he's higher than the others. But let's talk about this one for now. He comes on a scooter, looks really great. I've got him on this custom acrylic stand here. Also, that was gifted to me by Lau, who made this custom figure for me, which is awesome. But I quite like the way he looks there. I can see the likeness of Christopher Lee. There's other figures from that year and that era, this sculpt, that don't look as good because they're not painted as well as this one, but he's got that hard goods that you saw with a lot of the figures from the very first 2002 line, but it works a treat on here, given he's in a flow on, it's a flowing cape, well, should be on a speeding vehicle like that. So kudos to this figure. I like this one. Only just got this in the last couple of years, this figure, but it works for my displays. Let's move him out the way for now, and let's talk about this one. This is a figure that I took away. I never look at it, but you've got to tip your hat on the actual technical levels of this figure. This is probably the best likeness they've ever made on a figure for Dooku. I mean, look at it. That is how he looked in the cartoon. Lots of the Clone Wars figures for the Filoni Clone Wars were nailed by Hasbro. 100% likeness. Look at that. I mean, I know it's slightly easier because they're an animated figure with almost caricature features which could be made, and it's harder to make a human representation given it's a piece of plastic. But that just looks like him. The only issue I've got with this figure is, well, the cape means that it's very, I can't enjoy the super articulation beneath, because I like to keep him complete. I don't like taking that cape off. But rest assured, that figure is really well articulated beneath. And you've got that little model of Ventress there, I believe. Or is that the Emperor? No, that's Ventress. Hologrammatic Ventress. Now, this is the first ever Dooku figure I got. In next place, it is this. This figure, strictly speaking, is Darth Tyranus on the packaging, again, of the 2002 line. What line, do you ask? Well, bear with me. This line. In fact, I'm thinking of doing a top to flop for Jango Fett. This is the first ever figure I got for Dooku, and I bought it because it was the only one I remember seeing in Hamleys when I bought it in 2003 or 4. But I love it because I have him posed like that as well. Yes, he has a magnetic hand, but I have him posed with another figure that's kind of cumbersome. This Anakin figure is not great, but I have Anakin facing that way with blue and green saber. And so I like him facing that way because the face is probably not the best for this Anakin. Let's have a look. That's all right, I suppose, but I want to showcase this figure because the hilt is metal, and you don't hold a lightsaber like that, but it's almost like a freeze frame, like he could be just spinning it round, about using the Force, not to pick it up, but just to spin it or something. Oh, that's in my head. And then, oh, come on, what's happening here? Hang on. About that point there, he'd grip it and then continue the fight, you know what I mean? So that's next. Sentimental value as well, because, it's the first ever Dooku I got. And there's this Dooku here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I've not left any Dookus on my shelves. This one, I actually display it like that because I loved the hard goods cape of this. Look at it. There's a bit when Dooku, I think maybe you might see it in Revenge of the Sith as well. He's got a lovely cape, Dooku. Sometimes hard goods kicks ass for capes. Sometimes it looks crap. Actually, where is he? Let's bring him back again. I'd never have this figure facing that way. I don't like how his cape looks there. Sometimes I love capes when they've got that sculpt of flow. But it doesn't do it for me, that one. But anyway, this one, you can see that lovely quilting inside his robe, and you see it. You're going to pay for all the Jedi you killed today, Dooku. I'm sure that you see Dooku standing with his back to the camera. And he might even flip his cloak back. You might see the inside quilting like this here. You see? From the front, this figure ain't actually that bad. I've seen a lot worse facial sculpts than that. Look at the face of this guy. See, not the Georgie Best. I'm having a nightmare. Oh, there you go. See, not really the Georgie Best. It's all right. Looks quite good, that one, with the vehicles in the background. Yeah, but still, this one probably might have arguably a better facial sculpt. You can really see Christopher Lee there, but check this out. This figure's got weird features. It looks like he's leaning back, or he's like Santa Claus, like he's got a big belly. He's not got a big belly, Christopher Lee, but it's just the way the figure is curved. It's weird. That came with that set like that. I bought it specifically for that, and I've taken him off that to have him facing opponents. I've had him facing Ventress like that. I currently have him facing Yoda like that. And in last place, this is the worst figure I've ever seen and ever known. There's lots of things going wrong with this figure. Your posability is a nightmare. He's got a stupid like action thing where he slashes. I can't even remember how you do it. Is it like that? This is terrible, this figure. I bought it in good faith, thinking it would be a nice neutral Dooku, just like I was talking about a neutral Dooku before with this one, but that one's far superior. I just wanted one that wasn't in an action pose like this guy, but this one is horrendous. I mean, in the minute he's not even holding a lightsaber, and his cloak I have taken off, ladies and gentlemen. I've put it onto this custom here. This custom that got sent to me by Lau came with a soft goods thing, but after I watched Tales of the Jedi, you'll notice that the younger Dooku is wearing a cape like he would wear in Attack of the Clones. That's where I've put his robe. Plus, tell you what, that doesn't sit on him very well. It's terrible. It falls off. It's just clumsy. And also, ladies and gentlemen, the last reason why I hate this figure is look at the baldness that he's got there. That's just a bad paint application, that from Hasbro. Look at that. That's not rubbed off from playing with it, because I bought this as an adult. I mean, if that had come secondhand from a kid, I'd understand why or I owned it as a kid or something. I'd understand why the paint was off it, but no. This came like that. So it's just terrible. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my top to flop of Dooku. That's your flop. That's your top. But I know that Hasbro will do it justice, and they'll do a really good one. I hope, for TVC. And thanks for doing it. And thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.